Hola, I'm gonna walk, y'all. Want to drop something on you today, a perspective to think about. Um, you know, at one time in my life, I was big on competing. I think we all go through that stage where, we must know within ourselves that we have what it takes to compete against one another in life. I know I went through that, and I enjoyed it. It was for a season, and I enjoyed it. I got the trophy, I got the memories, I got all the receipts. It was fun. Yet, at this stage in my life, I am no longer interested in competing. Neither am I interested in duplicating anything anybody else has going on. I don't know, it's just me. And again, these are just my thoughts. I would feel embarrassed a little bit to do that. I feel as though I have evolved into a woman that is very independent. I am capable. I got what it takes, baby. I got everything it takes. I got enough. So I got so much I can multiply what I got amongst others, and I can create in others that which I've got. So I don't feel like I need to, copy or duplicate or, look to another for inspiration for such things. Now that's just me, and I'm a mature woman. I've been blessed with years, and so I can say that. Yet if you're younger, I can appreciate it. I can understand how you would look to others to do such things. I did it myself. It's part of the game. But I was thinking today about Jesus and how there are people in your life that you can't replace. There are people in your life, friend, that God will bless before you are even born for you to come into contact with, so that a greater good can be birthed from the unification, the camaraderie that your relationship with those people will birth. However, if you're just not mature enough for whatever reason, or whatever the issue is with you or them in that dynamic, and that dynamic cannot happen, it doesn't stop the show. You don't stop. You not having your stuff together enough emotionally, mentally, financially, whatever that is, to be able to completely acknowledge the relevancy of that relationship or that person, and to completely stand in the truth of it and embrace it and allow it to be what it was ordained to be. It doesn't stop anybody but you. Lest that other person suffers with some sort of significant issue as well. But if not, that other person will move forward regardless, friend, and live out their potential. Will do what they were designed to do regardless. Regardless if you're around or if you're not around. And when I think to this, I must think to Jesus. Because, friend, Jesus went through this same thing. Jesus came forward. Jesus didn't hold a degree. Jesus didn't go to any particular type of school. Jesus had a love and a desire to know God. He had a love for people. He could see his situation across the landscape culturally. And he could tap in spiritually to pinpoint a solution to the problems that the children were facing. Now, I'm not here to minimize Jesus at all. I'm not here to minimize Jesus and say Jesus was not the Son of God and that he didn't have a divine purpose. I'm not here to say that. But I am here to quote what he spoke to throughout the pages of the Bible, and that is that all the things that he was doing, he was going amongst the children of Israel and saying, these things you can do also, and some of you will do even more. And the real point I'm getting to is that he came amongst the people as one of the people. And he's telling them, I'm not any different than you. Please, let's give all reverence to the Father. I come as an ambassador of something greater than myself, and that you are not bastards to this house. You are my brethren and my sisterin. And instead of the people, well, some of the people did align. Some of the people aligned so closely that they became Jesus's disciples. And they began to multiply what Jesus was thinking amongst themselves. And they began to embody all that Jesus told them. Sure, there were some hiccups. There are going to be problems amongst people. Personality clashes, all that kind of stuff. But they didn't allow it to discredit or undermine the integrity of what Jesus was bringing forward. Yet there were groups of people, the majority of the people, as much as they were impressed by him, as much as they were inspired, and they looked to copy all that he was doing, because Jesus was not the only one coming forward saying that he was the Messiah, y'all. He wasn't. There were many people bandwagoning off of Jesus. I'm here to tell you. There were many people coming up after Jesus came forward, proclaiming the things that Jesus was proclaiming. They were sitting in the seats of all of Jesus's lectures, acting like they weren't impressed, acting like they were there just to criticize and to boo. But really, they were soaking up everything he said so that they could go and internalize it in some way and make it their own, so that they could gain some sort of notoriety off of what he was doing. Never once did they think, wow, why can't I just humble myself like when I was a kid and I would see someone that I'm impressed with and I want to be their friend, and I would come and say, I like what you're doing. My name is such and such. What's yours? They could never do that. They would rather minimize that purity, that pure light. They rather minimize that and magnify the evil. Even if it's just a little evil. Evil in the form of envy and jealousy or competition. They would rather compete with Jesus than partner with him. They would rather mimic him and look to discredit him than to speak the truth of him to him directly, because they were not strong enough within themselves. The moral of the story of what I'm saying to you is that, friend, there are people that God will send amongst you to bless you. Like I said, people that was ordained to be in your life before you were even born, before you were even conceived, for a purpose, for a time, for a season. And whether you regard those people or not, that's just a missed opportunity for you. Because if those people are wise, they'll keep going and they will continue to live out their purpose. Just as Jesus did. He continued to live out his purpose, and his Father's will was done on behalf of him. And all of the hate and all of the unacceptance and all the love and all of that stuff that came with it did nothing but magnify him. It did nothing but magnify him. His will was met. And this is the point. Nobody lost except for those people that denied the flow of water. Nobody. They thinking that they're going to hurt Jesus, or they're thinking that they're going to deny what is swelling up within them, that they really want to do and embrace him openly, did nothing but deny them. Surely after he transitioned, then they can openly say how they felt about him and praise him. But The time for them to be able to benefit from them had passed. That window of opportunity for them had closed. Whether they deny that or whether they accept it, it doesn't matter. We can look in the natural life of things. There are windows and times for everything in this planet. When you look in the sky, there's a season for everything. When we look at the world, there's a season. It comes and it goes. And you have to have the wisdom and the wherewithal within yourself to be able to capture what comes to you within the particular seasons that they come. Or else they just pass you by. And you stay on the sidelines, mimicking, impersonating, looking ever so closely for inspiration to something that you were supposed to be aligned to, for something you were supposed to be a part of, for something that you were supposed to play a role in. It's my word for you today. On this hill, boy, you love more than you'll ever know. I'll never stop telling you. We all must humble ourselves. I included. I humble myself every day. The older I get, the more rich in wisdom I have, and the more humbler I become. And that tells me the more better I am. Because there was a time in my life when I was not strong enough to be as openly humble. But now I am. Your love. Keep going. Peace and love.